and then you think, oh, I'll procrastinate. I'll get to that next time. Then the next month comes and you're there all over again. And you're like, man. So, yeah, what experiences have you guys had or with hormones in your life? Have you guys experienced something that's affected you on a personal level, if you feel like sharing?
I know I was saying I would share this story about our daughter because that did affect our life, speaking of hormones. And she's 26, she's 27 now, but this was when she was 26. And she had been using an IUD for birth control
Mhm.
for many years, over 5 years, I think. And we observed her. She would call us. She lives in California and we're in Utah. And she would call us with these unbelievable crying fits. And her mind would take her to levels and depths that we had never experienced with her. She was always a very happy, level headed, emotional woman. Even even in the earlier years getting her period. She was not the girl that we were like, oh gosh, she's gonna get her period. Bleed soon, please. She was not that kid. So this was really new and it went on for months. And we kept thinking, I mean, I'm just going to say, honestly, we initially thought it was the vaccine. I know that's a sensitive subject for people, but she did choose to be vaccinated. And I thought, oh, this has got to be a consequence of that. And so who did I call? Julia. And I said, our daughter is going through these emotional swings to the point that we're scared for her. She's getting to such low depths. We were concerned that she might hurt herself. She had gone to her gynecologist, and the gynecologist sent her to a mental health professional. And I said, absolutely not. You're not going on antidepressants. Dad and I are going to drive to California. We're going to get through this. You're not going on antidepressants. I was furious about that. That was their recommendation, especially when you hear the story of what it was.
Mhm.
So Julia, first question she asked me, does she wear an IUD? And I said, yeah. She's like, does it have copper in it? I said, I don't know. I've never asked her what type she uses. She's like, well, that's the first thing I would want to know. And what other medications is she on? I said, okay, well, I don't think many, but I'll get back to you. Long story short, IUD was not the copper one, but Ellen had been taking a cream. She went to a dermatologist because her face started to break out, right? So when you look at the symptoms of wearing an IUD for that long, yes, you get breast tenderness, your face starts to break out. But she didn't think about it. She went to the dermatologist. Dermatologist gives her a cream that now she's getting such high levels of progesterone in her system. And Julia was the one to figure that out. That we quickly got her an appointment to get the IUD out. And within days, she was already at a manageable emotional level. And then, Julia, why don't you talk about what you did with her too to correct such an imbalance that was going on for her, even in her digestive system?
Yeah, I mean, so she was using Marina, and it's impregnated with progestin. So it has estrogen, progestin. And so any birth control that has progestin, which is the synthetic version of progesterone,
Mm-hmm.
it's used to inhibit ovulation. But what it does is it depletes your body of progesterone. And progesterone is the calming hormone in your body. It's the one that helps you to sleep well, has, your muscles to be relaxed, for you to be calm. And so what you're doing is you're just depleting and robbing the body of progesterone. And so she had a severe deficiency, and that is enough to make any. To think of postpartum depression. After you have a baby, you give birth, your progesterone drops significantly. And for some women, it doesn't come back up quickly enough. And so they end up, feeling depressed and suicidal. And we call it postpartum depression. But there
Mm-hmm.
are some emergency rooms where if you come in suicidal and you've just had a baby, they'll give you a shot of progesterone to help guide that up.